Hi, Taurus, and welcome to your November 2022 read. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you to those of you who have reached out for a read. Thank you all. This November, I'd like for you to just reflect on a question that I have, not to be necessarily answered or shared. Just think about it. And the question is, how have you served humanity this last year? Okay, this reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. Let's get started. Wow. The Lovers, the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and Judgment. So Taurus, another chance at love with someone whom you've been in a relationship with potentially. Are you wanting another chance because, like, it hasn't been working out with others, perhaps, if you're, single and out there looking? Who is the one showing up here as the Seven of Swords? Like, look at these two beautiful cards, right? Excuse me. Someone, in hindsight, has been looking back at a relationship that was happy-go-lucky, massive chemistry. But what happened? What got in the way? Well, the Seven of Swords. In hindsight, when we look and review relationships that we've had, maybe it's not just one relationship, Taurus. Maybe you're reviewing, which is great to do, reviewing a relationship that you continue to address, go back to, or want to go back to, that made you happy and had good chemistry. But yet that Seven of Swords is, well, gosh, we didn't really talk about what we wanted. We were not transparent. The relationship went south because of it. Was it more for show, Taurus, from your part or another's? A relationship that has a lot of chemistry, right, Gemini? Relationship with tons of chemistry and great times and happy, let's, cheers. Drinking champs, having a great time, physically. But what else is there after that? Right? Let's look into the Seven of Swords. And I'm using the Light Seers deck. So we all know that relationships start out very egoic. We look good. The chemistry's off the chain. And then when the real essence of one's character, per se, comes to the forefront, we're like, oh, someone's not backing me up. Someone's all over the place. Hence, why the Seven of Swords is even in here, in the equation. Someone's all over the place physically. but just not emotionally available. In terms of, like, if you're revisiting a relationship, Taurus, with someone, you're like, oh gosh, they have great potential. I'm so in love. And then, oh my gosh. Oh my God. 3 of Cups. There you go. And the Fool. It happens over and over again. Seems like it's the thread of November is really looking into relationships that have great starts. They begin like with a bang, right? It's it's off the chain. Everything's great. We're drinking. We're having fun. We're drinking. We're having a great time. And then if it gets a little difficult, we start, okay, I just saw this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you were with someone in a relationship and they really, or you like their friend instead of them. You've tried to put your energy out of a relationship with someone and gone for their friend who has more chemistry with you. So some of you that happened. I'm not going to say, obviously not all, but I really felt that deeply. Someone said, let's get back together, and you're like, okay, but I really like your friend. Or they're not telling you they really like your friend. Okay, so that's one thing where that 7 of Swords comes in. So obviously the energy of someone saying, you know, we're not compatible, but I'd like to date your friend. Well, that's interesting, right? So then you're put on hold. You're put in a holding position because unbeknownst to you, someone's more interested in a friend of yours than you. It's not for every Taurus, no. But it still holds true for some. If it's not an attraction to a friend, Taurus, or you, or someone is saying, if this got off to a really good start and now we're friends. Now they friended you. That too could be for some what happened. The energy shifted from, okay, well, I can only go so far. That's the call of attention. That's the call to attend to a relationship of your past history. For those of you who this is relating to, the call is to reassess and review, right, the types of relationships that you get into that automatically breed sex. And that's it. You know, staying home, drinking some wine. I don't see any conversation here. There's no convos here. It's just, let's get to it. And then when a certain time frame comes around, someone says, oh, let's just be friends. It doesn't feel natural. So you must look, Taurus, at yourself and or the relationships that you have established that come around. And the reason why the Judgment, I don't have a desk. The reason why the Judgment is here is because this is your issue, that when you do your review of your relationships, you will see that Spirit is asking you to review the way that you enter into relationships, right? The way that you enter into relationships. How do you show up, Taurus? You know, is it just like hit it and quit it? I'm sorry, but for some it is. 8 of Swords. This is why you're having these issues. You don't see yourself clearly in a relationship or certain relationships that you've encountered. Let's just say, right? Look at your relationships and see how you have sabotaged them because they become just the physical chemistry first and they don't have the essence of continuity. And then you will see the light. In the darkness, we see the light because we say, oh my gosh, that's what happened. Oh, yeah, got it, Athena. I got it. This is what happened. I have sabotaged every relationship that I've been in, or maybe not every, but the majority of relationships that I have been in doesn't just, I'm not talking it has to be just the sex part of it. We're talking, it's always about, oh my God, chemistry. We have such intense chemistry. It continues to be the pattern. And I sabotage the relationship because I give in, I put out, I hit it and quit it, and or someone else does, and then they friend you. And now I get it. Oh, wow. Now it seems so much clearer. The Ace of Pentacles says, well, let's start over. Taurus, you could be dealing with a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. So I think we should start over on a different note. Vibration, frequency. Let's just start out the Fool. Let's start over again. As friends first. So some of you already in an established relationship are starting out again, okay? Are starting out again, so this won't happen. Let's be transparent. Let's figure it out. The way to figure it out sometimes, and it's not going to be easy, I'm not going to lie. It's not going to be easy because once you've established that chemistry in a relationship, now you're on sacred ground. Now you're back to sacred ground, which is the way a relationship, Taurus, if you want it to be sacred, you start out as friends. You start out in the beginning. In the beginning, it was. Let's re-educate ourselves about someone else. Let's look deep into someone else's, your person that you're starting over again with. Let's look at what makes them tick. Have you, Taurus, have you really seen, hold on. Have you really seen another for what they are bringing to the table? Or do you just see the physicality of, and vice versa? A Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and or Gemini is in the equation of drinks, sex, and then, oh, the new energy, Taurus, that's being asked is to start over again. Let's start over. But let's start as friends. I'm not saying you keep that out of the equation, but you've been there, done that. If it's with a new person, then so be it. Let's not make the same errors of judgment on ourselves and or others. Let's put things into a new perspective, a higher ground, if you will, to see what makes us tick. And to see a relationship and the relationships that have been so apparently driven by the external only. That's the only way. You must go in to find your way. If it's not a relationship, which I am sure I'm talking to many who have had this chemistry off the chain, but if you're not in a current relationship, for some of you, I just heard, this is a releasing of an old relationship, and now you're establishing higher ground, new ground, and reviewing where you've been. Spirit gave you the call to review your relationships for what they are and what you wanted in them, truly wanted. And now you're reestablishing, you're raising your vibration by going within and literally seeing what it is that needs to be seen so that your next relationships will be more substance. Using the karma cards, we idealize, so true. We idealize the need to confront. We idealize what we need to confront is how we react and act when we see or seek another from just an external shell and not an internal soul. We've sacrificed many relationships, right? Those who have come and gone, and those that we are still driven to go after in a relationship, right? That's what your November is going to be about, what drives our intentions from the get-go. And are we confronting these actions, the energy of how we play out relationships from the start? Are we defensive? So you could take on that role of, well, you know what? This is how I roll. This is how I'm built. I've heard that before. When we confront who we are in terms of what we really seek in a relationship, we tend to realize then that we're building relationships out of the external desires, and then we sacrifice because of it. Is that, Taurus, the sacrifice that you want to continue? Or do you want to really hone in on why you attract those whom you attract? They come to you so effortlessly, wanting attention. Are they loyal? Or are they, you know, most of the people that are driven by the desires of the physical, the looks, the chemistry, the sex, drinking, having a great time, but then suddenly, when it gets very real, do they stick around? And or is it you? It depends. So remember that when you're getting ready to enter into a new relationship, or you're changing the dynamic of a relationship you're in, only you can change that narrative. Chocolate's an attention whore, but he's loyal. So take a step back in November, Taurus, and really see what it is that you seek for yourself. I send you so much love and light. If you need me, I'm here. And have a great month. Take care.